pretty excited about this one. As you can read, upgrading the steering wheel. What is one component of the vehicle you absolutely interact with every time you drive the car? The steering wheel. So this is definitely one of those upgrades that you experience every time. This is from Tesfeel. As you can see, Tesfeel cloth. Give it a nice wipe down, a trim tool for installation. So this is the trim. That's the carbon fiber trim on the steering wheel. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. And then the piece de resistance. I don't even know if I said that right. Yes. So they do offer a few different styles, color options, so you can get the center line different as well as the accent stitching on the sides here. They also offer different variations for whether or not you have heated steering wheel and paddle shifters or not. So I let them know, despite my model not having heated steering wheel or paddle shifter options available, down the road here, I'd like to get that feature using, forescan and additional parts, the heated steering wheel option to operate. So what I did was I opted for them to send me one with heated steering wheel. That way, later on down the road, once I get that stuff, at least I'll be already pretty much one step closer. I won't have to get a new steering wheel again. So that's why I opted for this setup here. I did the red, very traditional. I know that, I might be a little bit old school at this stage of the game, but I like the fact that the red matches the FX4 accents that I have on the exterior. So it kind of carries on from the outside to the inside. It definitely punches up the interior quite a bit. Just all the places that I would usually hold the wheel. It's just very contoured, obviously, to your hands. So it's going to be a very nice setup. Obviously, you can see the grooves here, grooves down here. So if you're driving, kind of one hand holding here. The flat bottom is nice too, because I do usually ride with my steering wheel a bit lower. So this provides me a little bit more leg room. Also with this Tesfeel one of the things that I like is the kind of raised section here on the back, the divots, or whatever you call the indentations. For when you grab the steering wheel, you kind of feel that along the top. So it's got a nice, real confident grip. So when you are doing a, kind of a one-handed turn, you just feel like you got even better grip on top of that. Like I said, this one should have heating elements on the sides here, which is kind of what this is probably illustrating here. But the cutouts it has for paddle shifters as well. I don't know that I'm going to go down that route as far as the customization. I'm sure that there's ways to make that happen in my F-150, but I'm just not interested in doing that. I'm more interested in the heating steering wheel because of the fact that I don't park in the garage. So getting in my car in the winter months when it's cold outside definitely would be a welcome luxury feature to just have this thing nice and warm when I grab it. So let's get that installed. All right, meant to record a little bit sooner here, but so since we're doing the steering wheel, messing with the airbag, some safety precautions, I disconnected the negative on the battery and then proceeded to remove fuse 35 here, where my thumb is, and then 22. So in referencing some other YouTube videos, it seems these are the fuses responsible for the basically the restraint module that handles the airbag system. So I disconnected those. I'm proceeding to wait about a minute, and then we'll continue with the uninstalling the old steering wheel first. All right, now we're in the car. Hole here, which is on either side. All right, so this part was a pain for me. This is what, just to show you. So I was using too big of an object, trying to get in just through this little hole here. So you really do need something fine enough. You can see I scratched it up, trying to use a flathead. I used a Phillips. I thought it was skinny enough, but it was just ramming into this. All right, so now that I got the airbag removed, I'm gonna take off these two connectors for the airbag. You see the ones with the yellow connector with the orange little tabs on them. So first we're gonna use a flat head. We should be able to lift those tabs off, lift up these guys. up on the connector. Alright, and then do the same on this one. Tab. Connector. These connectors, see the red wire and then the black wire, we need to disconnect those. Very small, so we want to be gentle. I can't really get a really good shot of them, but you can see how narrow they are. So I'm going to pry up very gently with my flathead, and then you can see that it's routed. See right here, you can see it's kind of routed through here. So we want to make sure we gently, after we disconnect them, we're going to gently unroute those. So then we should be able to remove the airbag completely. All right, got it disconnected, but just wanted to show you, this is kind of what you're just slipping it off, this little stem piece here, this little copper looking stem piece. And now I'm just going to unroute it from through here. All right, so just unrouted it from here, just gently take those out. You can see we're unplugged. So first I'm going to disconnect this harness up here. Now I got a 15/16 to undo this guy here, this nut here, and then we should be able to get the steering wheel off. All right, so now we're gonna remove the trim, and I have a new trim piece for the new steering wheel, but I do need to obviously transfer over the controls. So in here you can see the wires, there's little valleys and stuff that they seat into, so I'm just kind of pulling them up. Let's see, this one looks like it might be cable tied back here. There's a couple that are, get some better light in there so you can see maybe. You can see the cable ties here and here, but these are the little valleys I was talking about. So these were down inside there. Just pull them up. See, like you can see on this side. These ones just come straight up though. Just tucked in nicely. See, it comes right up. Yeah, we'll cut these cable ties here and here. Just so we can get this whole harness removed so we can transfer it right over. Can I get to them in the back? Oh, actually, probably. So on the back you can see here. Let's see if I can't push these through. And I can avoid potentially cutting those wires. It's bunched up pretty close. There we go. Yeah, nice straight pick tools. Very helpful in this scenario. I could use this to just push it through. There we go. See, you can see the clip style here. This is what was pushing through the hole, and then obviously once it gets on the other end, these just kind of spread apart and hold it in place. Yeah, this is an 8. So it looks like there is 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side, mounting the controls onto the trim piece. All right, and then this harness is, looks like it's just slid in here. It is. Slides straight forward, right out. All right, trim piece off. Let's put on the new stuff, eh? I think we can go reverse order. So I'm gonna slide that piece I just took off, slide it right back on. Gently, because this little plastic flap looks pretty fragile. You know, I'll have this out. Let me give it a quick clean up, because that's looking a little gross. This is just an interior cleaner. It says it's for all surfaces, so this is a surface, and that fits under the category. Looks a bit better. Slap on some Torx. Get this nice and snugged up. Hoping this will help eliminate some of the squeaking too with the stock plastic trim. Looking glorious already. Good as new. right. Trim piece is done. Let's see about this. I don't currently have a heated steering wheel feature. However, I do now have the wires. So I don't know what those are supposed to look like. I'm going to set up these guys how they were on my other one. So I don't know if you can see, but it's got those little channels to run the wires through on the back. I'm going to try to set this up just like I saw on the other one. Got those pushed through, and then I'm going to use the provided trim tool from Tesfeel and run this through that back channel. Firm, however, gentle enough not to obviously cut any wiring. Jeez, now that I think about this too, I'm gonna have a completely exposed, because I didn't buy paddle shifters. I'm gonna have a completely exposed backside in here, which I wanted to show you these. I got these off eBay, 3D printed. Basically just paddle shifter, just covers. So these are just going to cover that slot. This is like 30 bucks. So I'm gonna cover these up, slap those on the steering wheel. It did come with the hardware as well. It's a pretty good match. Not too bad. Definitely not perfect. It does help provide a little bit more comfort knowing that there is at least some type of shielding between this and the, the wiring for the airbag. So see if I can get this to sit and seat in here like it should. The bottom sits in nice. The sides that just aren't sitting. Oh, there we go. All right, I got it to sit pretty good on the sides and everything now. However, now the bottom doesn't sit as good. It's not horrible, but it's just not as good. This was a little bit more flush before. Let's set it up. Try not to move the clock spring all over the place. Get this out of the way. This guy. I'll torque that one down. Torque spec should be 34. There we go. Reroute these guys. Slide them back on first and then reroute them. Those in. Reconnect these guys. I'm a little busier in here now that I got the heated steering wheel harnesses and wiring. There we go. There we go. Everything's all snugged up. You can see the covers here. There's the hole. And on the other side here. It's a cheaper solution for my current situation.
All right, guys, so that's the install for the Tesfeel steering wheel. I'll leave a link down below in the description if you guys want to pick one up for yourselves. General review of it, I'd give it a positive review. I anticipated the 9 and the 3 o'clock positions having those contours, which I think is pretty common in these type of really sporty steering wheels. You know, most people anticipate that kind of thing for these, but what I didn't anticipate, which was a pleasant surprise, was at the 8 o'clock position when I'm driving one-handed, or at the 12 o'clock position when I'm driving one-handed, I'm noticing a difference in that just inspires more confidence in my grip while I'm holding the steering wheel. So I'd give it a positive review. Definitely would recommend it Materials seem quality, just as good, if not better than OEM. So I'll leave a link in the description. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.